When one door closes, another opens. But we often look so regretfully upon the closed door that we fail to see the one that is open for us. That wise observation from Alexander Graham Bell gets to the heart of what I wanted to discuss today: the transformative power of embracing each new day as an opportunity for fresh starts and new beginnings. Too often in life, we get bogged down by past disappointments, failures, and mistakes. We stew in guilt, regret, and self-criticism over what we should have done differently. Or we project our anxieties into the future, playing out worst-case scenarios in our minds of all the ways things could go wrong. But by living that way, by camping out in the past or catastrophizing about what hasn't happened yet, we completely miss the profound gift of the present moment. We fail to seize the miracle of new beginnings that arrives for us every single morning when our eyes open to greet a new day. That present moment, that clean slate of a new day, is where all the magic happens. It's the blank canvas upon which you get to create the masterpiece of your life, free from the baggage of yesterday's shortcomings or self-limiting beliefs. Let me tell you a story that really drives this point home for me. I share a personal story about hitting rock bottom, but then using the mindset of a new day, a new start to turn things around. That experience was my wake-up call. I realized that while I couldn't control everything that happened in life, I could control how I responded. I could choose to stay paralyzed by what happened yesterday, or I could hit the reset button and embrace the fresh start in front of me. From that point on, I made a habit of intentionally editing my mindset each morning as I woke up. Rather than allowing any negativity, self-doubt, or disempowering emotions to linger, I would breathe new life into my spirit. I'd start my day with affirmations prayer, meditation, visualization exercises. Whatever practices would imbue me with a sense of positive expectancy and childlike enthusiasm for the day ahead. Like a wizard casting a spell, this routine would reprogram my mind to operate from a place of unshakable belief in my power to turn each new day into an extraordinary experience. With that proactive morning ritual under my belt, no to-do list felt too daunting, no obstacle too difficult to find a way through or around. Because deep in my core, I carried the mentality that today is a brand new opportunity to make things happen. I was no longer hostage to my past blunders or misfortunes. I had released myself from that emotional and psychological prison by exercising the willpower to edit my mindset each morning with laser-focused intention. Friends, when you start living with that paradigm shift, when you truly adopt the unwavering belief that each new day is a blank canvas upon which to create the life you want, everything changes. The word impossible gets stricken from your vocabulary. Giving up or throwing in the towel becomes unfathomable, because in an infinite universe of new beginnings, there is always a fresh path to pursue, a new angle to attack your ambitions and goals from. Think about how incredibly liberating it is to live that way, to know that no setback has the power to permanently derail you when you possess the supernatural ability to reboot your mindset on a daily basis. You become like a mental bodybuilder, exercising the discipline of intentionally flexing your perspective to focus on possibilities rather than perceived limitations. And just like building physical muscle through resistance training, the more you work out that mental fortitude, the stronger and more resilient you become as a person. Let's be real for a second, though. This mindset isn't necessarily easy to adopt at first. We're creatures of habit, and our default habits tend to gravitate towards negativity, resignation, living in the past, or catastrophizing about the future. Our brains are wired for survival, which means we have to be intentional about retraining them. But I'm here to tell you, with diligent daily practice, you can absolutely override any disempowering patterns and cultivate a new day attitude as your new normal mode of being. It takes an honest commitment to starting each morning with intention, Whether that's through meditation, prayer, affirmations, visualization, reading uplifting literature, watching motivational videos, or whatever mindset routines work for you. Personally, here's my approach in those first sacred moments. After waking up, I'd describe your daily morning routine for priming your mindset and attitude for a new day, fresh start mentality. See, a few simple minutes invested in purposefully guiding my thoughts in an uplifting direction makes all the difference. Rather than allowing myself to be at the mercy of whatever lingering negativity remains from the previous day, I take control. I take the proverbial steering wheel of my mind and navigate it intentionally towards positivity, expectation, and enthusiasm for the unlimited potential of a new cycle. With that foundation, I can then boldly walk into the day armed with energy and conviction rather than timidity or hesitation. I'm able to seize new opportunities for growth, achievement, and forging an extraordinary life for myself and others. It's like being given a fundamentally new lease on life every 24 hours. A whole new reset to aim higher, push harder, and chase loftier dreams than perhaps I could even fathom the day before. Now, please don't misunderstand me. This isn't about feigned toxic positivity or sticking your head in the sand to avoid addressing real problems. Difficulties and adversity are inevitable parts of life that can't be ignored. No, this mindset is about intentionally responding to those difficulties in an empowered way. Rather than succumbing to pity parties, excuses, fear, or inertia, you're able to alchemize adversity into fuel for your growth and hunger to pursue your highest vision. Because if there's one thing I've learned through a lifetime of ups and downs, it's that nothing is permanent. Just like the sun rises anew, each morning after the dark night passes, your circumstances can be absolutely transformed when you seize the chance to author a fresh start. With diligent practice of this mental discipline, you start seeing problems and setbacks not as dead ends, but as detours that were meant to reroute you onto an even more powerful trajectory aligned with your greatest potential. That is the magic of learning to treat each day as a world of infinite new possibilities. Your problems may not instantly disappear, but your approach to overcoming them fundamentally shifts. You stop investing energy into criticism, blame, or punishing yourself over past suboptimal decisions. You let go of those anchors keeping you tethered to anything less than your highest aspirations. Instead, with a revitalized spirit, you attack each new day with the voracious hunger of a tiger pursuing its prey. You boldly step into new growth opportunities and swing for the fences unencumbered by any baggage that could hold you back. When you harness the morning mindset routines and psychological tools to genuinely see each sunrise as a fresh rebirth of your power and possibility as a human being, that is when the floodgates of abundance start opening for you. Synchronistic opportunities seem to materialize all around. You start attracting the kinds of relationships, resources, and open doors that were perpetually eluding you when you were stuck in the rut of the past or mired in the quicksand of anxiety about the future. But now, firmly rooted in the fertile soil of the present moment's potential, everything flourishes. Your goals don't just become feasible, they start feeling inevitable when you relentlessly tend to the mental garden of your reality day after day. Once you prove this profound truth to yourself experientially, once you see with your own eyes how quickly you can manifest different results with a daily reset mentality, an absolutely unshakable belief cements inside you. The self-doubt, the disempowering assumptions, the limiting boxes you'd allowed yourself to be put inside, they all crumble away. Left standing is a towering pillar of confidence, audacious ambition, and the ironclad conviction that you can achieve anything you commit to. And what's absolutely extraordinary is that at the same time you're reaching unprecedented new heights, you simultaneously cultivate more humility, more wisdom, more appreciation for the journey, because you've seen firsthand how quickly one's fortunes can shift with a single determined decision to view the world through a lens of possibility rather than dead end. Embrace that truth, commit to being a lifelong student of seizing new beginnings, and I promise you, just a year from now, you'll look back in awe at how dramatically different your life has become. The impossible goals that once seemed so out of reach, you'll have crushed them like anthills underfoot. The toxic relationships and energy vampires who are wearing you down, they'll be loosed from your life like shackles unbound. And in their place, you'll be surrounded by a new elevated crew of people and opportunities that were once in a completely different atmosphere and stratosphere from where you were living. All because you took the unwavering stance to keep showing up for the present moment, day after day after day, to wake up with intention, expectation, laser focus, and an enthusiastic embrace of the blank canvas ahead. You decided to be the author of your mindset, rather than allowing it to be dictated for you. And through that disciplined mental conditioning, you forged the attitudinal assets and psychological hardiness to stride into the world each morning as the visionary hero or heroine of your own unfolding epic. That reality, my friends, is available to each and every one of you. I guarantee it with the same confidence that I know the sun will rise in the morning sky. Because at the end of the day, we are the architects of our mindset, perceptions, and resultant actions. So let me leave you with a simple daily practice to lock in this paradigm shift. Each morning when you wake up, pause before jumping into your day. Take 10 slow, deep, restorative breaths to create a space of serene clarity and centered presence. Then look around at your surroundings, the bed, furniture, the room itself. With each inhale, repeat to yourself silently, all things are becoming new. Let your lungs inflate with the expansive, expectant energy of fresh possibility. With each exhale, anchor the intention of being the author of your reality, declaring boldly yet peacefully, this is my new day to craft as I choose. Repeat this breathing ritual for a few minutes while visualizing yourself as the orchestrator of the day. Flood your mind with the beliefs, emotions, and thoughts you want to animate into physical manifestation. Confidence, purpose, audacious ambition, and the relentless pursuit of growth and achievement. Then, when you're ready, rise up and boldly step forward to greet your new day, your new creation, the next evolutionary chapter of your heroic life journey. Allow everything you think, say, and do to be filtered through the empowering lens of this new day's limitless potential. Move fluidly and decisively with the knowledge that this 24-hour cycle is yours to author as you choose. What happened yesterday is released, because a brand new beginning filled with fresh opportunity lies. Commit to that morning ritual, my friends. Treat each new day like it's the first day of the rest of your life. Pour intentional thought, care, and strategic decision-making into orchestrating your existence, and you'll be unstoppable in manifesting the life you've dreamed of, but perhaps never fully believed you could create. You'll be elevated into a completely different stratosphere of human experience and potential. Because I'm here to remind you of the eternal truth that no setback or adversity can outmuscle your resolve to embrace a new beginning. Each morning is a chance to rewrite any boxes or limitations that others or your own inner critic have tried to impose upon you. So create your vision, expect success, never quit, and march into each fresh start with the unshakable confidence, passion, and relentless growth mindset of someone who knows their highest calling is to keep outdoing themselves. Do that, and I promise you'll soon be arriving at a destination beyond even your wildest dreams. A place of staggering achievement, joie de vivre, deep fulfillment, and a fully self-actualized life lived as a stunning portrait of your values and authentic identity. All accessible simply through the daily discipline of embracing each sunrise as the first sunrise of the rest of your existence. So seize those sacred morning moments, edit the script your mind has been following, and craft a compelling new narrative in alignment with your loftiest ambitions. Because when you get in the habit of treating each new day as a rebirth of possibility, let me assure you, your greatest life will be born, and it will exceed anything you currently believe to be achievable. Trust that truth, commit to being the intentional architect of your morning mindset rituals. And I'll see you at the summit of a future so extraordinary. It'll feel surreal compared to where you're starting from here today. But that is the promised land that awaits for those bold enough to radically reimagine their limits and audaciously greet each new cycle with the heart of a lion pursuing its dreams. So suit up, embrace the new dawn that arrives soon, and prepare to start living life by your own rules and vision. One self-determined step after another, one fresh start at a time. That is your birthright and heroic calling. The only question is, will you answer it starting tomorrow? One of the most powerful aspects of treating each day as a fresh start is the compounding effect it creates over time. When you commit to intentionally shaping your mindset in an empowering way every single morning, you're essentially planting a new seed that will blossom into future growth. At first, the changes may seem small and relatively insignificant. Perhaps you notice a slight uptick in your positivity and motivation levels. Maybe you find yourself naturally gravitating towards behaviors more aligned with your goals. But those are just the first tender buds peeking through the soil. With steadfast consistency and discipline, watering those seeds daily through your morning mindset routines, something profound starts happening. The buds become saplings, which transform into strong roots that anchor you in an unshakable psychology of expectation, resilience, and belief in your unlimited potential. With each passing week and month, the compounding growth accelerates at an exponential rate. This phenomenon is why we so often look back after a year and feel astonished at the dramatic ways our lives have transformed. What seemed like modest incremental shifts ultimately snowballed into seismic positive changes across every area of existence. That's the power of making an unbreakable commitment to hitting the reset button each morning. You put the forces of incremental growth and positive momentum squarely on your side through the small but persistent actions of your daily practice. With this mindset, giving up or accepting anything less than your highest vision becomes utterly unfathomable, because every single day you're planting new seeds of belief, confidence, and empowered thinking that will inevitably blossom into your long-term success. It's like being an ultimate mulligan in life. The ability to flush away any negativity, mistakes, or perceived limitations holding you back and restart fresh on your own terms. How empowering is that? The profound simplicity, for all the complexity and challenges we face in modern life, the actual solution to overcoming adversity and obstacles is almost paradoxically simple. Have the discipline to start each day with intention. That's it. The entire paradigm shift to unleashing your grandest ambitions and goals comes down to making a habit of those first 5-10 minutes each morning. Using whatever routines, rituals, or practices work best for you. Recalibrate and prime your mindset for an unshakable expectation of positivity, growth, and possibility before your feet even hit the floor. Flood your mind with affirmations. Envelop yourself in peaceful silence. Visualize your biggest goals with vivid clarity. Read uplifting literature or watch motivating videos. Do whatever resonates with your soul and fills you with unshakable hunger to craft an extraordinary day. It doesn't have to be complex or drawn out. The key is simply having the discipline to be proactive and intentional about guiding your thoughts in an uplifting direction before the external world crashes in with its inevitable barrage of demands, distractions, and challenges. Those first few minutes of serene empowerment and mental conditioning are like suiting up for battle. You're fortifying your mindset like an indomitable warrior readying for the inevitable tests ahead, but filled with unstoppable confidence because of the psychological armor and weaponry you've equipped yourself with. Then, from that centered place of conviction, you boldly stride forward into your day and make a million micro decisions and actions, all filtered through the lens of expectant positivity. This simple habit becomes your not-so-secret superpower. A seemingly small adjustment that pays enormous dividends, both in the immediate present and compounding into your future. Over time, those compounded New Day mindset, deposited into your psychology, creates seemingly supernatural inner strength. You'll be able to remain poised and composed in the face of storms that might have previously derailed you, because you know deep in your core that you have the innate ability to regroup and rebound. No matter how rocky and chaotic things might get externally, you can always right the ship by returning to your anchoring morning ritual that reminds you of your power to approach each new cycle as an infinite realm of fresh possibilities. And best of all, this reset and reinvent approach becomes an upward spiral of ever-increasing positivity, productivity, and achievement. Your wins create more wins. Your successes breed more confidence to pursue even bigger goals. Eventually, you reach a tipping point where the gravity of your former limitations and disempowering beliefs is overpowered by the new elevated reality you've created through your daily practice. The sky is no longer the limit. You see yourself as an infinite being chasing their highest human potential, unencumbered by any boxes or restrictions. It all emanates from those first precious moments you commit to fueling your inner fire each day and claiming your birthright as the captain of your destiny. When you grasp the profound simplicity of this concept, you'll be astonished at how quickly and drastically you can reshape your outer world by diligently mastering your inner domain. The inconsistencies and frustrations of the past will become a distant memory as your visionary new normal. Modeling greatness, as the saying goes, you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This motivational speech has been infused with stories and insights inspired by some of the greatest leaders, visionaries, and personal development masters who've fully grasped and embodied the power of fresh starts. Intentionally or not, those stories have served to model and install this peak mindset of renewal and intentionality inside you, to infect you with their unwavering belief that nothing can stop someone committed to greeting each new day as an infinite realm of potential. Throughout history, all the great achievers in any field have intuitively understood this paradigm. They woke up each morning renewing their conviction, stacking one new micro-commitment and disciplined action onto the next on their path to greatness. Names like Maya Angelou, Winston Churchill, Helen Keller, Oprah Winfrey, Nelson Mandela, Steve Jobs, Marie Curie, the Dalai Lama, and so many others come to mind as shining examples of people who exhibited this incredible mental fortitude and growth mindset. They didn't become extraordinary by accident. In the face of immense adversity, setbacks, failures, and naysayers telling them their dreams were impossible, they made the conscious choice each day to hit the reset button and keep charging forward. In that way, they essentially willed their most spectacular achievements into existence by pure force of disciplined optimism and expectancy. Every morning was a new chance to make progress, dust themselves off, and keep sculpting their lives as living monuments of their vision. While their methods varied, their commitment to making the most of each new day as a blank canvas did not. It was an unshakable core part of their psychological framework that fueled their ultimate successes. So they weren't just celebrated for what they achieved, but how they achieved it. By relentlessly operating from that paradigm of possibility and resilience in the face of setbacks that would have stopped most people in their tracks. We're drawn to them not only for their accomplishments, but because they cultivated and embodied that rarefied mentality we all aspire to on a visceral soul level. When we look at their lives, we see demonstrations of the ultimate human truth that anything is possible for those who wholeheartedly refuse to abandon their vision or let their self-belief erode. In studying and celebrating them and others like them, we soak in their contagious attitudes that infect us with certainty that we too possess that same boundless capacity for creating fresh starts and new beginnings every single day. It's almost like these inspirational icons become the ultimate personal development mentors, imprinting their philosophies about expectation, growth, and pushing limits into our own psyches merely by exposure to their stories and mindsets. So in that sense, every motivational speech or heroic tale modeling the power of new beginnings becomes an opportunity for you to absorb that empowering wisdom into your consciousness. By immersing yourself in these teachings, you're embracing your highest potential and training your mind to see endless possibility on the horizon of each new day, just as the greatest achievers did. No matter where you currently find yourself today, no dream, aspiration, or vision can be dismissed as impossible once you've metabolized this transformative mindset into the core of your identity, because you'll recognize the parallels to the inspirational icons you've learned from, how they once stood on similar ground of doubts, limiting beliefs, and immense hurdles, only to ultimately obliterate those boxes by showing up and embracing new beginnings one courageous day at a time. Their heroic examples provide unwavering proof that you too can author a legendary life story, one fresh start after another, as long as you stay doggedly committed to the mindset habits and limitless thinking they exemplify. That validation and motivational transference plants an unshakable seed inside you. The comforting confidence that you are next in line to blaze a brilliant new trail into unexplored frontiers of achievement, growth, and self-actualization. All you have to do is show up, devour the lessons and psychology of those who came before you, and embody that same indomitable spirit ready to sculpt a new creation with the arrival of each new sunrise. Conclusion? Every speech must eventually come to an end. Every motivational message reach its final crescendo. But that doesn't mean your journey of discovering and actualizing your limitless potential through a new day mindset has to stop here. If anything, this is just the beginning, the planting of empowering seeds that can now take root inside you and blossom into a radically new level of self-belief, hunger, and tangible results in your life. Like any paradigm shift, though, it will take dedication, consistency, and diligent daily practice to fully wire these ideas into your core psychology. You'll have to make that proactive choice each morning not to get swept up in old narratives of victimhood, fear, or perceived restrictions. Instead, you must become militant about protecting and nurturing the unshakable belief that each new day offers you a blank slate to author your most extraordinary life yet. If you accept that challenge with full enthusiasm and commitment, buckle up, because your world is about to be turned gloriously upside down in the best way possible. Over the coming weeks and months, you'll start noticing small but significant shifts in your motivation, decision-making, and the types of positive behaviors you find yourself gravitating towards. As those new empowered patterns of thinking and doing compound, you'll reach critical mass. The limits and psychological glass ceilings that once bound you will shatter away like dust in the wind. Distortions of the past and anxieties about the future will no longer hold sway, because your consciousness stays anchored in the euphoric present, where anything is achievable when you approach each day with enthusiasm and expectation. At some point it will click. You'll gain the profound realization that you truly do hold the keys to unlocking vastly higher levels of performance, purpose, and sheer human aliveness. No external force has power over you when you've cultivated the ironclad discipline of intentionally crafting your mindset. Each morning, whatever happened yesterday gets flushed away, and you confidently face your new creation of today as the CEO of your destiny. A prospect that once felt exciting and liberating can eventually become normalized into your new baseline of being. Just showing up, staying committed to your vision, and leveraging the momentum created by each day's new beginning will add up in ways you cannot yet conceive. For all of us who have experienced this profound mental reconditioning, that ultimate awareness represents the culmination of a life-altering inner transformation. It's reaching the summit and seeing the entire expanse of possibility and limitless potential sprawling out ahead of you. From that perspective, any goal, big or small, no longer holds the ability to intimidate. Nothing can stop someone who recognizes they hold dominion over their mindset, perceptions, and destiny. So their life becomes a breathtaking adventure in constant pursuit of outdoing themselves and shattering self-imposed limitations. It's as if once the blinders are removed, you can finally see the true scope of what you're capable of creating when you approach each new day with relentless hunger, self-belief, and the courage to seize new beginnings. Those of us who have climbed this mountain of self-awakening and unshackled thinking leave a clear set of footprints for you to follow. The path may not always be easy, but if we can make the trek, so too can you. At times, you'll face intense resistance from your former disempowered narratives and habitual mindsets that want to keep you small and playing by the rules of perceived limitations. Expect those headwinds, let them motivate you, and keep climbing. There will be days where it feels like one step forward, 2 steps back. When old stories of fear and failure resurface like pesky gremlins trying to stop your progress. On those difficult stages of the journey, return to the wisdom of setting an intentional morning routine. Let those rituals be your hiking poles and safety ropes, keeping you anchored and continuing your ascent. But most importantly, remain stubbornly, defiantly, relentlessly committed to greeting each new day as an opportunity to stretch further beyond your perceived limits. Chase your vision with an unquenchable thirst. Lock arms with inspirational souls who stoke your internal fire, and use every mountain you climb as a springboard to spot your next horizon of growth. Do this consistently, and I promise the extraordinary life you've dreamed of will be manifested. Just as the sun rises each morning without fail, reveal after reveal of your grandest ambitions materializing will become inevitable. Those around you will watch in awe and wonder at your transcendent shift, not because you achieved some single audacious milestone, but because your entire way of being, mindset, and presence in this world has become a contagious inspiration catalyzing others to expand their own reality bubbles too. You'll radiate the unstoppable light of someone irrevocably committed to and expectant of constant elevation and becoming the greatest version of yourself. A role model and trailblazer who took full ownership of authoring your destiny with each fresh sunrise, creating your own version of magic and limitless living in the process. From that rarefied vantage point, you'll look back and scarcely recognize the person who began this journey. Gone are the former limitations of yesterday's disempowered stories. Now you live as the hero of your tale. Bold, audacious, and sculpting a masterpiece life others could scarcely dream of without first adopting a new day mentality themselves. Those transformations don't happen by luck or accident. They are willed into existence by those who make the proactive daily decision to sculpt their lives as living portraits of possibility and human potential. That will be you. That can be you. The only variable is whether you dedicate yourself starting today to greeting each new cycle, not just with hope for better days ahead, but with the dead-set conviction and expectation of an already emerging victory. Each morning will represent another step closer to your highest vision, a new beginning streaming with opportunities to actualize your greatest dreams at an accelerated speed. To boldly step into the world and manifest seismic shifts in your circumstances through the sheer force of your compounded discipline and psychological hardiness that transformed existence. One of perpetual reinvention, exponential growth, and absolutely incredulous attainments that will seem surreal compared to where you're starting now, is not only possible for you, it's what you were destined for. At some point, every acorn must pop up through the soil and spread its branches to become the mighty oak. Every seed planted must blossom into the flower. Every torch gets passed to keep the eternal flame illuminating new frontiers. That ascending progression towards expressing your greatest potential is the birthright of all human beings. It's the ultimate liberty. We're all entitled to freedom from limiting self-beliefs, bigoted judgments of others, and any disempowering circumstances trying to box us in. You, by committing to this paradigm and showing up every single day with intention, will become the newest embodiment of that timeless heroic archetype. The caterpillar emerging as the resplendent butterfly taking wing. The rising phoenix of limitless human potential bursting into existence through the ashes of your former limitations. The one who sees new beginnings like oxygen, inhaling their power and using each fresh cycle to propel yourself further on the audacious path of fashioning your most brilliant life yet. It's time for you to walk that journey now, to leave mediocrity, complacency, and settling for the sidelines of life in the rearview mirror. This is your true calling, to demonstrate through your actions that anything is possible for someone dead set on using each new day as a springboard to spectacular achievements and constant regeneration into the greatest version of themselves. Let the old stories die. See the sunlight peeking through the trees ahead, illuminating an infinitely grander vision for your life. Take the first step into that reality as soon as tomorrow morning, ready to stake your claim as the master author directing your heroic epic with zeal and limitless potential. Feel the gravity of that profound paradigm shift energizing you right now. The visceral recognition that you get to rewrite any rules and boxes others may have tried to impose. That with consistent application of this mindset, future limitations are permanently eliminated from your dictionary. Revel in that feeling. Let it become your new normal. Then seize it with both hands and pour that inspiration into constantly renewing your approach to life like a caterpillar liquefying itself to spin an entirely new existence from the inside out. Because that's what this is, the mental and spiritual metamorphosis back into the truest, highest, most limitless version of yourself. One initiated with the simple yet profound choice each morning to hit the reset button.